Behave yourself. The children are watching. Did you know that your financial behavior is influencing your child and that's a long-term benefit or a problem? That's what we're going to explore in the video today. Children mimic us in life. They do exactly the way they see us doing. In fact, the values and the systems that we developed in life are exactly those that we saw our parents practicing. To that extent, there is enough evidence to state long-term children's exposure to parents' financial activity is really what they will also follow in their life. The financial aspects that they observe in daily life influence them extraordinarily. Now let's examine some of those things that influence children in the long term. First, role modeling. Like I mentioned, children observe us and will continue to follow the same behavior for the rest of their life. So it's extremely important for parents to set a very, very strong example when it comes to how they deal with money. Second, the aspect relating to culture. If you grew up in a certain culture that treated wealth and money very warmly, believed in the concept that wealth is good, then it's almost certain that your child will also grow up believing it to be true and will have very, very good attitude towards the money. Similarly, if you grew up in a household that had a scarcity mindset, then it's likely that the child will also mimic that behavior in life and therefore either lead a very risk-free life or lead an extremely high-risk life as well. Third, is there financial education that happens even not formally, even informally? Do families discuss financial matters at the dining table? These are important aspects that children take away as a learning very unconsciously at a very early age. Fourth, how does the parent make decisions on money? Does the parent do impulsive decisions or is it well thought out, well planned and well reasoned? These aspects again will get followed by the child. Next, the peer group in which the child grows up is extremely important as well. If the peer group consists of people who don't respect money as much, give a lot more importance to spending than planning for it, then it's likely that the child will also kind of mimic that experience. So all in all, there are a variety of different childhood experiences that we undergo as children, and that is what we take away from in the long term. So it's extremely important we as adults understand these behaviors and then make sure that in the presence of children, we learn to behave a little bit more planned in a manner in which the children have a good takeaway so that it sets them up for a life of financial success. Now, what are the steps by which we can make sure that the children have a great head start to a successful financial life? First up, as a family, it's important to be upfront about money and wealth. Bring these discussions out into the open, either at the breakfast, lunch, or dining table. Discuss it threadbare, talk about the good and the bad. The value of hard work and earned money is an extremely important concept that sets children on the right track. Knowing that you work hard and therefore you are very, very careful about the way you use your money is an important imprint in the mind of the child going forward. So these dinner table discussions are extremely important irrespective of the age of the child to take away. Remember, they are watching you and they are learning every little bit. Next, it may not be a bad idea at the appropriate time to instill a small petty cash for the child on a monthly basis in the form of either a piggy bank or give them an allowance every month of a certain sum. But it's not important just giving the money, it's also important in understanding and helping them manage the money in a better way. So help them plan their priorities, it's important to kind of give them the alternatives so that they can start thinking for themselves. Third, at the appropriate time, help them open a bank account and get them acquainted with the concept of money and how to handle. So for every unit of money, there are three things that everybody needs to know. How much should I save? How much should I spend? And in the amount that I spend, how much are my needs? How much are my wants? These are small distinctions that as a child one starts exploring. They are in a much better place as they become adults to handle larger sums of money. Discuss inspiring people around you who have been very, very good with money, the way they manage. Successful entrepreneurs, successful people who have done well for themselves is something that you can discuss with your child and make sure that they understand why that person became successful and how he has been able to deal with his wealth. Giving is an important aspect as well. Not everything that we get needs to be used by us alone. Instill that spirit of giving in your child so that in the long term, he also understands that the money that he has is not only his, but he needs to spend it for people with lesser means so that in the long term, he has a giving attitude as well. These are all things children pick up from the family, and therefore it's extremely important that we as adults or parents instill these values in children. Like the regular values, financial values are extremely important. At the appropriate time, you can start talking to them about also financial independence. What is the meaning of financial independence and why it's important to follow some discipline with money so that at the appropriate time, they need not have to go for a job or work. They can live comfortably thereafter. It's not about leading life without earning, but it's about making smart choices. Second, also talk to them about delayed gratification. In today's day and age of instant gratification, it's important to tell kids that there is a need to plan money in a certain way so that they can spend it at the appropriate time for what they decided that money for, rather than impulsive purchases that they may indulge in later on. These are all the ways in which we as adults can instill a certain amount of discipline and a financial foundation for our children, which will go a long way in ensuring that they will be successful in their life financially.